Yo, 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 future fighters, what is up? And surprise, surprise, we got the Crescent event battle following up the end of the Luna Snow event battle. So, not what I expected, but we're going to be able to collect, well, most people are going to be able to collect Crescent bios on top of everyone who's going to be able to play through the very first event battle and get at minimum 40 Crescent bios. So lots of extra free stuff coming from Netmarble. Probably the most generous month this game has ever experienced, with the combination of 2 event battles, the Halloween event mission, and not to mention the CTP check-in and the 8-week check-in and the regular monthly check-in. So it's a lot of free stuff from Netmarble, which is always nice. So thanks to Netmarble for doing that. Yeah, and you got any advanced patch notes for the next update? I'm curious what's coming next. I'm so in the dark now about updates, and I have no idea where they could go next. The last few updates really threw me for a loop. Did not expect Phoenix 5, did not expect Uncanny Avengers. But what kind of advice can I give you for this Crescent event battle? Well, the way that I see it, there's 4 chapters. There's essentially 4 types of players for this Crescent event battle. So I'll try to go through all of them, starting with me. The type of player that has already whaled out, has already tier 2'd Crescent and purchased her uniform. So if you're that type of player that you've already tier 2'd her, already purchased her uniform, this update and this event is great, because now you get free biometrics to get her uniform up from, normal, possibly up to heroic, possibly up to legendary. I had been, and I probably will continue to, but I had been using my daily biometric selector on Crescent. Now I'm going to think twice about it, because I'm going to get at minimum, 150 bios, because you get 40, 50, 60. That's a ton already. I may not need to spend the rest of the days of my bio subscription on her, even though I have 16 remaining, because I might get enough from this battle. Because on top of the 40, 50, 60 that you get from the actual mission here, you also can get up to 27 additional bios per day as a random reward. Remember, once you play through these once, you can still get the rewards. You can still get sort of daily rewards for each of the missions, and it's 8 chapters or 8 missions per chapter. So 8, 16, 24, 32. There's 32 chances per day to pull more biometrics, to pull 150 to 230,000 gold, pulling 5-star and 6-star obelisks, 4-star, 5-star cards, etc. So there's actually a lot of rewards going on, but that's the first sort of group. That's the most obvious group. They're going to play this event battle. They're going to reap all the rewards. The second group would be players who have not yet gotten her to tier 2, have not yet gotten Crescent to tier 2, but they used a mega rank up ticket on her last time to get her to 6 stars to reap the benefits of the event battle. For those players, pretty much the same thing. I would just use these extra bios to get her to tier 2, but I wouldn't pull the trigger on her uniform yet. Then you have the third group of players who possibly have biometrics for her, and or are thinking about using rank up tickets to get her to 6 stars to get all of those extra biometrics for, not biometrics, sorry. Well, you get the extra biometrics, but you also get all of the other rewards. So if you have a 1-star Crescent, or if you can get a 1-star Crescent easily from just playing this and then using a mega rank up ticket on her, my advice to you would be to weigh out the pros. The pros being all of the one-time rewards that you get from the missions, most notably the 6-star Gwenpool card. If your cards are not that good, go into the card rotation and take a look at what the Gwenpool card offers as the base stats, and maybe consider if you could add it to your collection. You can add it to your main 5 if it's going to help you max attack, all HP. I would say, for example, if you are a PvP type player, you need a lot of max HP on your card effect, and you don't have much, I think this is a no-brainer. I think you should use the Mega Rank Up ticket, because not only is the Mega Rank Up ticket going to give you a character that you can use as a leadership, she automatically gives you the, one of the best combat leaderships in the game, 60% increased physical attack for combat types. So you get a character that you can use on low-level Shadowland. You get a leadership that can buff up, Wolverine, Sabretooth, Namor, whole bunch of characters. And then on top of that, you get a free 6-star card, a good 6-star card that you can use if you can roll it well. You get millions of gold, you get the black antimatter, you get the chaotic ISO, which is awakened. So I think that's worth it. And then I think the fourth group would be players who don't have Crescent, but they can unlock her. But then they either don't have mega rank up tickets, or they do, but they're saving them for rarer characters, like let's say Weapon Hex or Gambit. In that case, I would probably say, as well, you should weigh your options, because if your cards really stink, maybe you should use that, because Crescent is not as good as Gambit or Weapon Hex, but the cards are going to affect your whole roster. or just skip the event battle and just play through the very first chapter over and over and over again. I would still recommend playing the first chapter every day, even if you're not going to get any extra Crescent bios by chance, because the base rewards are good, and you can get good base rewards from the very first chapter here, chapter 1. You don't have to go up to chapter 4. I've gotten some of my best rewards from Luna Snow and Crescent Battle and X23 from chapters 2 and chapters 3, not necessarily from chapter 4 itself. But I would consider the fact that some people are saying, I'm not saying, but some people are saying that she could be getting a tier 3. Now, part of the reason why people think Crescent is going to get a tier 3 is because the Warriors of the Sky teaser that we had, where Cage was narrating and introducing the 4 characters from Vietnam, Thailand, Malaysia, and Taiwan. Those 4 characters were introduced by Io, and Io is sort of the Crescent, sort of moon spirit that was summoning the Warriors, and the Warriors all have a Crescent symbol on their weapons or on their jewelry or on part of their character's design. So they're sort of all linked together in a more ancient sort of mythological way to Io. Not necessarily to Crescent, because she's like 10 years old, but she found this mask and she's wearing it, and the mask has that Crescent symbol at the very top, so she is sort of linked to them. So it's definitely possible that Crescent could get a tier 3. To be perfectly honest with you guys, unless Crescent tier 3 has a Captain America level stat boost. What I mean by that is Captain America has the highest stat boost from tier 2 to tier 3 of any character. He is still the #1 highest stat boost for any character, and you can see right there, without a leadership, I've got 45,000 physical attack and 73,000 HP. He is an absolute monster of stats. So unless Crescent gets a stat bump like that, with this uniform, she's not going to be meta. I do not believe that. She has to compete with Captain America and Namor, and those are 2 heavy hitters. Namor especially has an insane stat boost at tier 3. It's not quite Captain America level, but it's pretty damn close. 43,000 physical attack and 68,000 HP with no offensive, like, I'm not using a CTP of Transcendence or Patience to boost his attack. I'm not using a regen or an egg or any other obelisk to boost his HP. He's just got that much HP by default. So, you know, even with a stat boost comparable to Namor, comparable to Captain America, Crescent's not that good. She doesn't have all defense down on her skills. She doesn't have, you know, a lot of weapons that make her very good, aside from her 3 and her 5 that have, you know, long iframes. She doesn't have a lot of hits either. So she's sort of like Namor in some ways. She hits pretty hard. She has pretty high stats, 32,000 physical attack, low HP. But her skills don't impress me as much as Namor's. She doesn't have the crazy team buffs that Namor has with his 5th skill and his 6th skill. So Netmarble would really have to pull out all the stops to make her tier 3 amazing. I would not be investing in Crescent for this event, assuming she's going to get a tier 3. I think it's like 50-50 at best, in my opinion. But that is my sort of analysis and breakdown of the event battle. Let me know if you guys are going to be participating in it or not, and what you're participating in it for. Are you doing it for the Crescent bios for Crescent? Are you doing it for the Crescent bios for her uniform? Are you doing it for the items, and you're just saying, you know what, whatever I get for Crescent is great, but I really just want these items that we're going to be getting as guaranteed rewards? Secondly, I want to shine a little bit of a light on something that I've kind of been not talking about. I wouldn't say I was ignoring it, but there were quite a few people messaging me talking about uniform XP in Dimension missions, and I had witnessed it once myself, and a lot of people had talked about glitches or sort of weird interactions where I was getting a bunch of different reports, and that's part of the reason why I didn't make a video about it, because not everyone was saying the same thing, and it's impossible for me to verify if their information is correct. I'm not calling anyone a liar, but I'm just saying it might not be very helpful to you guys. It might just incite panic if I say, guys, Dimension missions aren't giving uniform XP. That's not really true. It is giving uniform XP, but sometimes it gives you less, or sometimes it gives XP to the wrong characters. It was doing all kinds of wonky stuff with characters that you had equipped at different teams from 1 to 4 or 1 to 3, and it was doing weird things in terms of the numbers. Sometimes you would run with 3 characters that needed uniform XP, but only the leader would get uniform XP. All kinds of weird, wonky, and glitchy stuff, and that was obviously Netmarble's fault. I was pretty confident that they knew about this already because it was a pretty glaring issue, and then they patched it. They patched it last night. So you should have already gotten the patch to install. It was a couple of megabytes. It was a very small patch. And these are the issues that they're talking about. The issues from the last update has been fixed, and if you click on the banner, you can go and follow it in game to see that they also never mind. Anyways, trust me on this one. They patched it. You can go ahead and read that on the Netmarble forums. Do not follow the banner link because it sends you to download the game. But they did give 10 level 5 XP chips as compensation. That might not be enough for some people who have been experiencing this for a long time, but it's a nice compensation for a glitch that was obviously unintentional. So if you've been having any issues with Dimension missions for Uniform XP, you should continue to monitor it to make sure that it's not still happening, but it shouldn't be happening now. And I haven't had any issues with clear ticketing for my first 10 runs to get Uniform XP because of my VIP 17 bonus. Beyond that, I haven't been testing because I just haven't had time to manually run Dimension missions, but I've still been getting Uniform XP from all other missions that I've been manually running, i.e. Epic Quest missions, so at least we know that the issue is possibly mostly confined to Dimension missions. I haven't seen anybody complain about Uniform XP anywhere besides Dimension missions. So with that being said, we've got these new events in game. We've got the existing events going on as well, sort of concurrently. Just as well, a final reminder, the event mission for Halloween is going to expire today. So I've grinded up my 400 tokens. I'm not going to be purchasing anymore, but I'm going to be going over here and getting the Titan component packs. I'm going to be picking this up twice. There's one that took a really long time to process, and there is two, and I did that to balance out my Titan component packs in relation to my Essence of Dimension, because even though I upgrade characters' gears to 25 for tier 3, I also gear up characters to 22 because I want to test them out. I've been gearing up Rogue, even though she's not going to probably get a tier 3 for a long time because I just really like the character, and so I like to keep these about 1,000 apart. If it starts to drift past 1,000, if this one starts to go up and this one starts to go down, I try to even that out with the event stuff, and I'm lucky that I don't need the Cosmic Cube fragments and the rank up tickets. If you do need the rank up tickets, now would be a great time to possibly pick up a 4-star and 5-star or a 6-star rank up ticket for Crescent, for example. But again, consider the information I talked about before, consider the other rewards of the quest, and also consider the fact that right now, even with her uniform, Crescent is not a top tier character, and even at tier 3, she's going to need to compete with Captain America and Namor, who are both giants of Marvel Future Fight. So hit me up in the comments down below, subscribe, and like the video if you enjoyed it, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care.